Friends, give a small like to our video because we have worked very hard to create it. And to watch more videos like this, subscribe to our channel and ring the bell icon next to it. Let's get started. In a quaint village tucked away in a valley, surrounded by vast, green meadows and tall trees, there lived a woman named Lena. She was a gardener, known far and wide for her lush, vibrant garden that bloomed year-round with flowers, herbs, and vegetables. Her hands were always busy with soul, tending to the plants as if they were her children. But despite the beauty she cultivated, her heart was burdened with worrying, and her smile never reached her eyes. One autumn afternoon, as the sun dipped low and painted the sky in shades of orange, a young boy named Simon wandered to Lena's garden. He had heard stories of her extraordinary plants and wondered if they could help ease his own troubles. Simon was a curious child, and though his family struggled, he always seemed to find joy in the simplest things: a butterfly fluttering by or the sound of birds in the trees. Lena was kneeling by a patch of lavender, her brow furrowed as she inspected the plants. Simon stood at the edge of the garden, watching her quietly. "Excuse me, Lena," Simon called, his voice hesitant. Lena looked up, her face softening when she saw him. "Ah, Simon, what brings you here today?" Simon shrugged. "I've heard that your garden is full of magic, that the flowers and plants can make people feel better. I wanted to see it for myself." Lena smiled faintly, but there was a sadness in her eyes. "Magic is a funny thing, Simon. I've spent many years here in this garden, but I've come to realize that it isn't the flowers or herbs that make people feel better. It's the way they choose to see the world." Simon frowned. "But my family is having a hard time. The harvest wasn't good this year, and I don't know how we'll make it through the winter. How can I see the world differently and everything feels so heavy?" Lena put down the shears she had been using to trim the lavender and stood up slowly. She gazed at the rows of plants, her fingers brushing the petals of a delicate rose. "Let me tell you something, Simon. When I was young, my life was much like this garden. There were seasons of plenty and seasons of drought. My father was a farmer, and he taught me everything I knew about growing things. What did you do? But one year, a terrible storm came through, and it destroyed our crops. We had nothing left. I stood in the field, feeling as though the earth itself had betrayed me. It felt as if everything I had worked for was gone." Simon's eyes widened. "What did you do?" Lena chuckled softly, though her voice held a note of grief. "At first, I did nothing. I was too angry, too lost in the storm to see anything beyond my sorrow. But one day, as I walked through the wreckage, I saw a small flower, one that had managed to survive the storm. It was just a tiny bloom, fragile and alone, but it was alive. That flower became a symbol to me, a reminder that no matter how harsh the storm, life still finds a way." She paused, letting the memories settle between them. "It took time, Simon, but I started again. I planted new seeds, tended to them with patience, and slowly, the garden began to grow back. Not everything was the same it couldn't be, but there was beauty in the way it came back, even in its imperfections. And I realized something. Peace isn't about avoiding the storms. It's about finding the quiet in the chaos, the strength in the struggle." Simon looked down at his feet, unsure. "But how do you find peace when things are so bad? I don't know how to see anything good when everything feels like it's falling apart." Lena bent down and gently pulled up a small weed from the soil. "Some days, it's hard. I won't lie to you. There are times when I've had to search hard for even the smallest bit of beauty, like a patch of sunlight breaking through the clouds or the scent of rain on the earth. But those moments, Simon, those are the seeds that help us grow. Even on the darkest days, there's something to hold on to. You just have to look for it." She reached into her pocket and pulled out a tiny seedling. "Take this," she said, handing it to him. "Plant it in your own garden, wherever you feel most at peace. Let it remind you that life, like this little plant, can grow even in the most difficult times." Simon took the seedling, his heart feeling a little lighter. He looked up at Lena and smiled. "I'll take care of it. I'll look for the light, just like you said." From that day on, Simon began to find the beauty in the world around him. Even as his family struggled, He noticed the way the wind danced through the trees, how the stars twinkled at night, and how the sound of laughter could brighten even the darkest days. The seed he planted grew strong and tall, and so did Simon's spirit. Word spread throughout the village about Lena's wisdom, and soon, others began to seek out her garden. They learned to look for the good, even when the world seemed heavy with burdens. The village, once filled with worrying and sorrow, began to thrive not because their troubles disappeared, but because they learned to find the little joys amidst the hardships. And so, through Lena's quiet teachings, the people of the village discovered that peace was not a place to be found but a way of seeing, a way of choosing to grow, no matter what storms came their way. What do you think of this story? Share your thoughts in the comments and pass it on to your friends. Thank you.